Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And I thought tonight's Hell in a Cell, I thought it was a good show. Uh, it had some awesome matches. You had a few matches that were, pretty terrible, though. But all in all, it was a good show to me, in my opinion. It was a roller coaster ride of a show. Uh, so. But tonight's show hailed from the brand new Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. 16,000 fans attended. It was a sold out show. 16,206 people packed the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. And apparently, this is going to be the new arena in Detroit, where originally WWE had their shows and pay-per-views when they came to Detroit. They were held. They would, do it in the Joe Louis Arena, but the Joe is getting demolished, or maybe it's demolished already. I'm not sure though. But I guess this Little Caesars Arena is going to be the new home for WWE shows whenever they come to Detroit. So, so let's get started with the review. The kickoff pre-show match, it was Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Hype Bros. It was a decent match, back and forth between both of these guys. Flowed really good. The match ended with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin performing a neck breaker and then a sit-out powerbomb on Zack Ryder, and Chad Gable ended up pinning Zack Ryder for the win. So yeah, it was a decent match. I really like this tag team with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Of course, this is Shelton Benjamin's first pay-per-view, back in WWE. After a while, but I could sense that the Hype Bros, they're gonna be breaking up soon. I could see that coming. So, but all in all, it was a decent match on the pre-show, on the kickoff pre-show. So yeah, and then we kick off the pay-per-view with the first Hell in a Cell match. This was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It was the Usos versus the New Day. Of course, Hell in a Cell. And this was the first match of the night, in my opinion. Just was very very good Hell in a Cell match where, kendo sticks were being used. Yeah, chairs being used. Yeah, at one point a cowbell was being used. The trombone. The Francesca trombone used. So, but it was crazy. You had at one point, it was Xavier Woods and Big E tied one of the Usos up with the kendo sticks on the side of the Hell in a Cell, where they couldn't move. It was either Jimmy or Jay Uso put handcuffs on both Big E and Xavier, and they hung Xavier on the side. So basically they hit Xavier with the kendo stick, both of them. So, and then the end of the match, Jimmy and Jay hit a double Samoan splash on Xavier Woods, and it was laid onto a chair, and they hit that that double Samoan splash on Xavier to score the win. And so now the Usos are once again the SmackDown Tag Team Champions for the 5th time. So I could sense that this rivalry between the Usos and the New Day are going to go on. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. I mean, I know it's hot potato. They're playing hot potato with the tag team titles, with the tag team championships. So, but really happy that the Usos are now 5-time SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So then, all in all, it was the first best match of the night in my opinion. And then after that we had Randy Orton versus Rusev. It was meh kind of match. Just Orton just dominating on Rusev. You had at one point Orton tried to attempt the RKO, but Rusev ended up trying to get Orton in the accolade, and then Orton slipped out and he hit the RKO on Rusev for the win. So all in all, it was meh match. And then the next match, it was Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles and Ty Dillinger in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Originally, it was supposed to be Corbin versus Styles, and then on the kickoff show, you had Ty Dillinger go and see Daniel Bryan, and he asked Daniel to be put into this United States Championship match, and Daniel ended up making that decision, and he made it a triple threat match, and the match was decent. It was really good. It was back and forth between both of them, just back and forth between them. You had Styles hit the phenomenal forearm on Corbin outside of the ring, and the end of the match, you just had Baron Corbin end up getting the win because Styles hit the Styles Clash on Ty Dillinger, and Baron Corbin ended up coming in, kicked out Styles, and then Baron Corbin just pinned Ty Dillinger, and so now Baron Corbin is the new United States Champion, which is okay. I have no problem with that. I mean, Styles' United States Championship reign was really good, and this is WWE trying to see if they could bring Corbin back up again, and after he lost the the Money in the Bank briefcase, they're like, oh yeah, we got to do something with Corbin. And so tonight finally came, and they made he won the United States Championship. So I have no problem with that. But it was a good match. It was a good triple threat match. Then next, it was Charlotte Flair versus Natalya, and this was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was an okay match, but it ended disappointingly. You had Natalya working on Charlotte. She ended up injuring, trying to hurt Charlotte's knee, which ended up getting injured. You had that amazing moonsault Charlotte always does, where she did the moonsault outside onto Natalya, which that was pretty awesome. Then the match ended disappointingly, where you just had Natalya take the chair and then just hit Charlotte with it. So Charlotte ends up winning the match by a disqualification, but Natalya still keeps the SmackDown Women's Championship. So, but all in all, it was okay match just up until that disappointing end. And then after that, we had Fashion Files segment, which didn't care for. It got a big pop from the crowd. I'm like, these people enjoyed this crap, this Fashion Files promo segments, which I don't find funny. I'm like, what's the point of these? What's the point of this Fashion Files segment? I don't know. I can't stand these Fashion Files segments. Then after that, we had Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. And this was a decent match. It wasn't the best match of the night, but it was decent. It was back and forth between Mahal and Nakamura. Figured that Jinder was going to... I knew going into this match, I knew Jinder was going to retain the title because, you have the Singh brothers out there. And pretty much, just, half the time, Singh brothers end up doing Jinder's dirty work. Just taking out, the opponent left and right. And, you had the Singh brothers, interfering in, parts of the match. But then you had referee Charles Robinson, trying to, throw out, the Singh brothers and send them to the back, which he eventually did later on. But you had, Nakamura hitting the Kinyasha on Jinder, and I thought, at that point, Nakamura, oh shit, Nakamura might win the title tonight, but no, you saw, Nakamura pin Jinder, and once the two happened, Jinder just ended up holding the bottom rope, and Nakamura was going to go for another Kinyasha, and Jinder just, reversed it into the Colossus. So Jinder Mahal retained the title, retained the WWE Championship with the Colossus on Nakamura. And from what I heard, Jinder is not going to drop the title until probably WrestleMania time. So it's going to be a long run with Jinder as a WWE champion. Yeah. And then after that, we had Kevin Owens, being interviewed, but he ends up taking the mic, and he says that he is the most dangerous man in WWE, and he can't wait, to destroy Shane tonight in the Hell in the Cell. He talks about Shane, saying how, Shane screwed him out of the U.S. Championship, and how he abuses power, and he sends a message to Shane saying that tonight that he's going to send him straight to hell. So pretty much it was basically that. Then it was Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. This was okay match. This was Bobby Roode's first pay-per-view on the main roster. His debut pay-per-view on the main roster. Also, forgot to mention the New Day and the Usos. Both of those guys, this was their very first Hell in a Cell match, which was cool. Which is pretty cool. But Bobby Roode, I said Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph ended up coming out with his music, and then pretty much his music stopped playing, and he just came out with no music playing. He was just walking out here like that. So, but it was okay. It was a okay match for Bobby Roode's main roster pay-per-view debut. Just back and forth between Roode and Ziggler. Bobby Roode won the match with the roll-up, because first it was Bobby Roode rolling up Dolph. Dolph ended up, rolling up on Bobby Roode. Then Bobby Roode ended up rolling up on Ziggler once again. And that's when Bobby Roode got the win. Then after the match, Dolph ended up hitting Bobby with the zigzag. So overall, it was an okay match. Wasn't great or anything, wasn't great or perfect by any means. And then we get to the main event, and this was the Falls Count Anywhere Hell in a Cell match. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. And this is possibly the second best match of the night. This match was awesome. It was Really, really good, really intense match. You just had uh, back and forth between Owens and Shane just battling. They were destroying each other in the match. Yeah, at one point, Kevin Owens did the cannonball, and he did the cannonball into the table, uh, which that was really cool to see. Shane did, of course, his coast to coast, which that was really awesome. Uh, yeah, both guys go on top of the cell, and it was really like nerve wracking, like because they were like hitting suplexes, and we all thought that the cage was gonna give, and one of them was gonna go through the cage like Mick Foley did, of course 2 times. I thought either one of them was gonna pull a Mick Foley. And then they were teasing at another point in the match where one of them was just going to fall off the cell like Foley did, as Mankind in that classic Hell in a Cell from King of the Ring '98, which is one of my favorite which is my all-time favorite Hell in a Cell match. But one point, you had Kevin Owens coming down off the cage, and Shane ended up coming down. Shane was just, hitting Owens and, kicking Owens, and then Owens just fell back first onto the announce table, crushed it. It was onto the Spanish announce table. It just really broke there. Shane ended up climbing back up to the top. First, he ripped up another announce table, and he took everything off, put Owens on it. Shane ends up climbing back to the top of the cell, and he's standing there, doing what he does. He just waits to the right time to hit that elbow drop and jump off the cell. And he actually did do that. He jumped off the cell, hit with the elbow, and then we see from out of nowhere Sami Zayn comes and helps Owens. He takes Owens off the announce table, and that's when Shane jumped off the cell onto the announce table with the elbow drop. And I'm like, this is the second time Shane missed from the Hell in a Cell, which we saw last year. He missed when Undertaker got off of the announce table, in their Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 32 last year. And I'm like, Sami Zayn. I'm like, this is Sami Zayn. This is the guy that has been fighting with Owens, having a good rivalry with Owens. He now comes and saves him. I'm like, it makes no sense whatsoever why Sami, saved saved Owens, tonight. And this is a Sami Zayn heel turn. Sami Zayn heel turn happened tonight where he ended up putting Owens on Shane, and he told the ref, to count. And then, the ref started counting 1, 2, 3, and so Kevin Owens wins the match. It was a really intense match, really intense Hell in a Cell match. I think this match, in my opinion, topped the first Hell in a Cell, between the Usos and New Day, because this match went on for 39 minutes. The pay-per-view went overtime, which was really good. Glad that they made them have the match go on longer and not end it, like really quickly. I'm glad that they gave them some time to do what they had to do, and it was a intense match. This was the second last match of the night. Like I said, both Hell in a Cell matches were really awesome. Both of them were the best matches of the night. But I think in my opinion, Owens and Shane took the cake. Took the cake tonight. Easily, like I said, easily topped the Usos and the New Day match. So, but all in all, Owens and Shane, intense match. It was awesome. Really, really loved it. So, but yeah. So, anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and one other thing to mention, I was watching Talking Smack tonight, and now I think AJ is going to have his rematch with Baron Corbin for the United States Championship this Tuesday on SmackDown. So that's going to possibly end up happening, you know, because Styles has his rematch clause, so he could have a rematch for the United States title at any point. So I think it's going to happen Tuesday on SmackDown. So we'll have to wait and see if that's going to happen, which probably I know it will. So yeah, so anyways, thank you all for watching. Like I said, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow night for my Raw review.